So, hello and welcome to the Zakeke webinars. Today, we are really proud to explain to you why visual customization for web to print is fundamental to automate your printing business, and we will explain to you how to improve design processes thanks to the Zakeke Visual Commerce platform. I'm really proud and really happy to share the stage today with our own Gabriela. Hello, Gabriela.
Hi, Leo. How are you? How are you
I'm
doing today?
pretty good, pretty good. And it's great to have you today with us. She will be, of course, you will be the star explaining to us the reasons why visual customization and Zakeke can help you scaling up your printing business and why it's pivotal for your projects and for your team to use the most complete and easy to implement visual commerce solution out there. Let's start right on with Zakeke, of course, and meet Zakeke. This is of course our agenda for today. We will show you why visual customization for web to print is so crucial for your business life, how to automate your printing business thanks to Zakeke, the fundamentals and highlights, where of course Gabby will show us how to increase revenue, sales, reduce returns, and all the benefits of Zakeke, and of course your questions and our answers. But let's start right on with Zakeke. What it is Zakeke? Zakeke is an all-in-one visual commerce platform. Merchants adopting Zakeke are able to manage mass customization in an easy way because we are the easiest to implement visual commerce solution out there with a user-friendly, flexible, and scalable system that allows merchants to automate all processes that normally require a lot of manual graphic works, long lead time management and effort, and of course, shoppers using Zakeke are able to personalize in real time any products on any device. That's why we are so flexible and scalable, and we are a living platform. So we are always working hard to upgrade the solution and meet your business needs. And of course, we are being awarded, and we are the leader visual commerce platform out there with best usability, easy admin, easy setup, and fastest implementation. So you can count on Zakeke when you start or when you want to scale your customization project. And of course, our platform is an array of tools for every business, meaning that you can customize in 2D, you can configure made-to-order products in 3D, you can have custom effects for printing like engraving, or you can count on Zakeke if you do sublimation, direct-to-garment, screen printing, and more. We have an offering in terms of viewers in 3D and augmented reality, virtual try-on, and countless features and tools and settings for your business to increment sales revenues, engage more customers, and being the partner in business that you need in order to scale up. But one really important thing is understanding why visual customization has become so crucial for the web to print business and for other businesses, of course. Customers in this visual world need and expect to be wowed. They live with their eyes, we live with our eyes, and we want to engage with unique experiences all the time. So of course, shopping is not excluded. Most of the times, companies try to meet those standards, but they're always up to the task. So to live to those expectations, to become really engaged, to become really the most unique experience out there, well, of course, you need to start a project or you need to scale your project by optimizing the processes that you have already put it in place. And of course, data is here to confirm to us why visual customization, visual configuration is a game changer for customers and of course as well for businesses. So 71%, according to McKinsey reports, expect to find custom products on your store. 71, it's huge. 76% customers get frustrated when they don't have customization, or even if they don't find the real value of that customization. So unique products, unique experiences. And 47% are willing to pay more for custom products. Let's think about that. If you offer custom products, of course you can manage your markup prices. You need to have revenues. You don't need just to meet costs. You need to increase those revenues for your store. So visual commerce, in a nutshell, means new opportunities because, of course, you can gain competitive advantage thanks to visual online customization. More, means more revenues. As I told you, people are likely uh, to pay higher prices for custom products. They are unique, so they don't usually returns those products, and they will become loyal customers because if they find that customization and that experience so unique, well, of course, they will become ambassadors. And of course, unique experiences. As I said, when you have a 2D imagery, a 3D configuration, augmented reality where you can fit in your products. Think about a sofa that you can put it on your living room. It's the most amazing shopping experience that you can have. But of course, having in place those projects can be tough, can be a huge tasks, and it can be an hassle. It can be a cost. It can be a failure project if you don't, of course, select the right visual commerce platform or the right business partner. Uh, it sounds familiar for you. Handless email exchanges back and forth. If you offer customized products for your customers and you decide to have that a design, customers they edit it, but maybe they are not so happy, so you re-edit that file, re-edit that product design. So long time spent. Your team of designers is frustrated. You work endless countless of times of hours, weeks to complete just one order. Think about Christmas. How many orders you need to fulfill, and of course that means lost sales, lost revenues, and many return products. So we feel your pain because that is again one of the most familiar sounds of failing projects or not automating visual commerce projects. But of course, this can lead to major pains. So if you don't implement the right platform, if you don't implement the right workflow, that can be a complex administration of a project. So managing printing design, managing different customization projects can be inefficient, can be expensive because think about the sourcing, think about the printing, think about the fulfillment process. That can cause delays, that can cause production errors. And so, again, this can lead, of course, to missed deadlines. That is a huge mistake for online shopping or customer frustration. They don't find what they need, they can't create the dream product. And again, ultimately, it becomes lost revenue. That's why Zakeke, visual commerce, visual customization can bring that fast implementation, so the fast turnaround for these projects. An easy to use tool means an easy to use sourcing, fulfillment, and automation of printing, and of course, reducing inefficiencies. It's huge benefits. It's right, isn't it right, Gabi?
Yes, exactly. As you were saying, one of the main obstacles for a company to enter the market of customization is all the costs associated with customization, because it's not only offering something cool to a client, something that's gonna increase their user experience, that's gonna make them feel in control of their journey, but from a company side, from a company perspective, you are also significantly increasing the costs of production, because you're gonna have to allocate resources in terms of sales reps, in terms of designers to do digital proving, in terms of the softwares that are going to be used to create digital proofs that are going to be then sent to the clients for review. So all this back and forth communication, as you were well saying, it increases a lot the costs compared to using a platform that just automatically streamlines everything. So not only are you kind of cutting all those costs that you would otherwise spend or invest on a kind of longer and less efficient process, but you are also basically minimizing errors because the client is designing exactly what he wants, and sometimes you have to put yourself in the position of the client, because maybe if you're speaking with a sales rep, you can customize your product, but you are not really seeing what you're going to get. So maybe let's say you're customizing a t-shirt and it's going to be red, and you're trying to decide the color of the logo you're going to put over it. Maybe in your mind, yellow or blue is going to look good on it, but then when you actually get the final product, you see that it doesn't really match what you thought, and you're going to give it back, so when a client sees everything before buying, then that margin of meeting their expectations and also cutting returns is significantly improved. And the great thing about Zakeke is that you don't just automatically give your clients freedom randomly. You give them freedom based on how much freedom you want to give them. So if you want them to have a completely blank canvas and do exactly what they want without any rules whatsoever, you can do that. If, however, you want to establish a certain set of ground rules that they have to abide by during their design process, then that's what they're going to do. So in that sense, you're killing two birds with one single stone, because they feel in control of their journey, but the one that's actually pulling the strings, the puppet master, is the company, it's you. So how do you achieve this personalization? You have different options in terms of printing methods. So for instance, if you have some products, as you were saying just a seconds ago, if for some products you're working with sublimation, you have certain printing needs, you're going to create printing methods specifically for those needs. If for other products in your catalog you're just working with digital printing, then you're going to create other printing methods specifically for that. Or even within the same product, if you have certain variations, certain versions of one product that have certain limitations compared to others, you can block that using printing methods. Or if you want to not necessarily work on a printing side and you're just working on a design side, you can use pre-designed templates to just set certain rules and decide, okay, you're going to be able to add text, what fonts can you add, what colors can you choose from, what's the sizes that you can work with for the, I don't know, this specific object. You are basically just deciding all the rules that are going to be applied in each step of the process, and not just from a design perspective, also from a sales perspective. So for instance, when you're working with customization, a lot of times you're not just adding a simple markup in terms of percentage of numbers to a product, but you're basically charging more based or less based on the type of customization is doing that your clients are doing. So for instance, if they're adding text, maybe you're gonna add the cost by 10%, but if you're adding text and pictures, it's gonna increase by 20%. So we have both simple and advanced pricing rules that allow you to kind of set up. Of course they follow a certain logic, but you can virtually set up any price that you wish for your products based on the kind of services that you're providing. So in terms of user experience, that's great for the customer, of course, but for you as a merchant, it definitely makes your life easier because you offer the best quality, the best type of service you can offer, but without making your life living hell by trying to hassle everything on your own with your own resources.
Yeah, because you have real automation. You were talking about print-ready files.
Yes.
Because when I hear print-ready, what are those?
The name, I know it's really straightforward, but I think that that specific part warrants a bit of an explanation, because print-ready files, in my opinion, are one of the main strengths of Zakeke, because they are essentially, as the name says, they are files that are ready to be sent to print. And so that's the easiest explanation. But what they actually are is a live mock-up of the design created by the client. So essentially, if I'm going to Zakeke, I'm going to design a t-shirt or I don't know, pair of shoes or whatever I'm working on, I'm going to see my design, and then based, of course, on the print areas that you set up and all the, let's say, all the settings that you decided while you set up that printing method, you are going to get that exact design that I created following the standards that you decided on in the back office. So this document, of course, it can still be modified slightly before being sent to production. If you want, you can do it straight from your back office. You can move things a little bit around, like you can still work on it. It's not final, like it's not like as soon as the client finishes, it's locked. You can still work on it. But you're essentially starting already from like this kind of digital version of the design. And if it's already done, you don't need to do any modifications. You just send it straight to your printing machine or your engraving machine or your hot stamping or whatever method you're working with. So this file is also created based on your needs, So if you're going to print everything on one single file, then you're going to choose the layout, you're going to choose how it's going to be ordered, the structure. If, however, you're going to do things by pieces, you're just gonna do one single page for each thing. Are you working with specific CMYK colors? Are you working with specific rules? Like everything, without going into the intricacies, because of course they vary from industry to industry. Here you have the power to say, this is what I need from a production perspective, and we have the capabilities to meet that need in a very, very simple, straightforward way.
Absolutely. So the merchants is the rule maker, and
Of
of course,
course.
customers can create their dream products thanks to those rules that are based on their printing methods, as you said, or their printing capabilities. Should we
Yes.
look at a little bit of the type of customization that we can offer, and let's see how the print-ready files get generated inside the
Yeah,
Zakeke.
I think that'd be really cool. I think that'd be
Absolutely.
really, really cool.
Let's do this customization. That's
Okay.
a pre-designed template. As you can see, we're trying to customize a can. And of course, the merchant here decided that can offer pre-designed templates. So already something that is based on their customization rules, even with markup prices, as you told briefly before, about the dynamic advanced pricing rules that you can create to generate those revenues. Again, not meeting just the cost of the printing processes, but increase those revenues. For example, you can select a pre-designed template like this. And as you can see, you have, in this case, a beverage with nutrition facts that you already created, and you can customize this clip art, edit the image, or for example, just if you want to add another text, you can customize that.
One thing that I would add just really briefly where you're playing around a bit with the designs is that pre-designed templates, they also offer different levels of ground rules. So, I mean, they can work both just as inspiration, like as a starting point for design, because it is true that sometimes the more choices you have, the more overwhelmed you can get because you don't really know where to start, you know? So sometimes clients, they offer pre-designed templates not necessarily as rules but more as a starting point because they give you an idea. Okay, maybe I can put my name here, maybe I can put an image here, maybe I can make this curvy, maybe I can make this red. And but of course they still give you the flexibility to work with the elements that are already there. Like in this case, you know, this image girls night that was there, you can still move it, you can still resize it. So this pre-designed template is more of a design suggestion, more of inspiration. But pre-designed templates, they work in an entire spectrum in terms of rules, because if you want to block those options and you want to tell them no, you can only change the text in this specific position and you cannot change the font, you cannot change the text, you cannot change the color, all you can do is edit the text. Or vice versa, if you all you can do is change the font, all you can do is change the color, I mean, you kind of have the possibility to choose the degree of freedom they have, not just for the template as a whole, but for each individual element that you're gonna add to that pre-designed template. And that's really useful when you sometimes are working in an industry where clients, I mean, of course they love to feel in control of the journey, but it can be hard for them to imagine a final product because of course not always do they have experience in terms of design, you know. So it's
Yeah.
really, really useful for them.
Yeah, exactly. As you said, those are not only all the options available, but the options that the merchant decided need to be available for the customers. And as you can see, there are a lot of features. Again, shared design, zip design. You can get a PDF of the customization. As you can see, there is a 3D model that you can open, so you can see the actual customization of this pre-designed template on any other template live in 3D, or even again with augmented reality. So you can put your beer can and try to drink it on your table. And of course, once the order is complete, you will see orders like this. So getting back to the Zakeke dashboard, you can even create manual orders or test orders, but you will go inside the details and you will get the print ready files. So the customization that has been made. So you will get, of course, the design that the customers decided was the perfect one. And of course, you can download the PDF, the SVG, or the PNG of the customization. And of course, download the full zip of the print ready files, edit the print ready files, or even save the design of every variant as templates. And so that's the power, that's the flexibility, as Gabby perfectly mentioned before. That's the automation on fulfillment that we can offer to your project. Getting back to the presentation, of course, we mentioned the design. So sometimes customers might need that power of customization, but companies may lack again, softwares or expertise, or even the power to meet these standards in terms of quality, or the standards in terms of dreams that customers have while they are customizing those products, whatever the product is. So when customers maybe are dissatisfied with the qualities, that can be not only lost revenues, but a decrease in customer loyalty. That can mean customers that are not that satisfied will not come back, and maybe instead of being ambassadors, they will decrease the power of the brand value. So, of course, in order to meet those standards, the design process doesn't have to be that tedious, and you don't have to beat that limit anymore, and you don't need to think on a big design project. Of course, we saw pre-design templates are a huge deal, but what are the other platforms, the other features that Zakeke can offer to give it a push to that pain, to that problems, Gabi?
So, I mean, specifically talking about designing, it can be, of course, if you're a company that already offers customization, you usually have already some sort of team or some sort of tools in place. Or if you're just starting out, you have no experience offering custom products whatsoever. In either of these cases, Zakeke helps you meet your needs. Of course, in the first case, if you already have a process that is not optimal, or you already have a team that is spending a lot of time, you have designers that are spending hours and hours of their day doing different versions just to satisfy the client, saying, okay, do you want the logo more to the right, do you want the logo more to the left? All of these things, they are just cut, they're automated, as we were just saying previously. But especially if you're launching something that you were not doing before, so you don't already have the capabilities in house, sometimes it can be a bit of a hassle to kind of set everything, get everything up and running. It can be, I mean, a lot of our clients, when we speak with them, they often think that it's going to take months and months and maybe even years to just kind of get everything running, because that happens a lot. If you don't have, if you're not using a platform, a live platform like Zakeke, that is constantly changing, that is constantly evolving, that is constantly being updated, and you, for example, have your own proprietary custom software that you develop for yourself, that
Mhm.
software, that's a problem that a lot of our companies face. It can become obsolete very, very soon, very, very fast, because maybe it worked great with the market needs 2 years ago, but now if you wanted to, meet the needs of the market now, you need to pay a lot of money again to just get it up and running again, and it takes a lot of time. So in that sense, Zakeke is the opposite, because our goal is to be fast, is to be agile, is to be easy to implement. And specifically, the customizer is very, very easy to use. It's very, very easy to implement. We can connect seamlessly to any of the main e-commerce platforms directly via our plug and play solution. So it's literally as simple as creating an account, installing the app, and you're ready to go. And if we cannot connect directly via plug and play because you're not using one of the main e-commerce platforms out there, you can still connect via API. You have all the documentation. Maybe there you do need to do a bit of an integration, but it's still not months and months just to kind of get the software up and running, integrated with your store. So in terms of implementation, Zakeke is up and running compared to other solutions. And not only that, but it's very easy to use. Our goal is not to make you dependent on Zakeke, but to make you independent, to make you know the tool as good as the palm of your hand, so you can know all the functionalities inside out, and you can just decide what to do, what not to do, and you are in full control of your catalog. And in that sense, Zakeke offers a lot of guides for all the different options that we have. We have amazing tech support that is always available, always responsive, and it's free. So in terms of how easy it is for me as a company that has zero experience in customization, but it's something I want to do, is this gonna, okay, maybe I get it up and running, but then how is it going to be to maintain it? If I don't have a designer in house, I'm not really, I don't know anything about that world. I'm a business person. That's not necessarily my area of expertise. It doesn't have to become, because using Zakeke is as easy as it can be in terms of a design tool, because you're literally choosing options. You're saying yes, no, ticking and ticking. You're not doing anything complex. Like, it doesn't look like a software program like Illustrator or Photoshop. It's a really, really intuitive layout, really, really easy to understand. Once you get the hang of it and you get your hands dirty, you see all the potentialities that you can unlock, like some of the features that we didn't see before, like adding your own images and your own clip arts. If you want your clients to not just upload their own photos, their own images, but to choose from yours, you can give them countless of categories for them to choose from, for them to use. And if, for example, the images you provide are in SVG, they can not just add an image, but they can also modify that vector image, changing the elements, changing the colors, as you were doing in the pre-designed template just a seconds ago. Or for instance, if you're working with, again, we repeat, Zakeke can be used across different products. So if in your same catalog you have some products that are just printed, but other products that are just engraved, you can also give that feel to your client, because of course what they see in terms of experience is not going to be the same. You're going to set up a specific engraving method, a specific engraving look for engraved products, but you're going to set up a different one for digitally printed methods, for example. And same with the, which we saw a little bit when you were sharing your screen just 2 seconds ago. You can also see all your designs, not just in 2D, but you can also see them applied live on a 3D model and in augmented reality if you choose to enable that as well. So in that sense, you're not only pumping up your design capabilities, but you are also making your own life easier, because you are not gonna have to become an expert in graphic design to get Zakeke going and to offer visual customization. You just need to open the back office and follow the workflow, and that's it.
Absolutely great. Like really have your the key of the project inside just a couple of clicks. That was amazing when you said that because it made my life like just easier to think. Like I just need to set some rules and then leave the power to the customers and receive everything in one dashboard. But that's not it as pains, of course. When we talk about design, when we talk about workflows, of course, we need to talk about product catalogs, sourcing, and of course, fulfillment automation. We previously talked about, again, limited design, limited capabilities, or difficulties to scale to give more and bring more automation. So that can leave, again, companies a little bit alone in terms of printing capabilities. So no matter the printing methods, maybe you don't really get to the exact value of products that you need to fulfill, or simply can increase fulfillment automation. You desire to offer more products. You desire to increment and to engage more customers, giving visual customization, but sometimes you cannot meet those standards. So you don't meet customers and production needs. That's a huge pain. That's a huge problem. And again, that can lead to satisfaction, to potential revenue loss, to returns, and to, again, frustration, because you're a business owner. You start off a project, or you are already in a customization project, and sometimes you cannot give that step forward. And again, we hear you, and it's real familiar for a lot of printing companies to meet that limit and to increase the power of, again, the sourcing, the fulfillment, and at the end, Gabby, it all ends with scalability.
Yeah,
Business to scale up.
exactly. And that's why it's important to not just look at the front end functionalities part, but especially at how this is going to work from a production level. Because we already saw that, okay, you get your print ready files, you send them to print or to engraving or whichever method you're using. That part is done. But what about, I don't know, increasing your catalog? What about adding more products, adding more variations, you know? And that is a big obstacle for clients, because sometimes they offer, I don't know, 10 products in their catalog, and maybe they have the capability to offer more. They have their printing machines, or they work with other companies to do that part, you know, that production part, but they simply don't have either the manpower, or they don't have the
Mhm.
processes, or they don't have, there's some sort of internal limit to increasing the volume of products that they offer, and they cannot kind of unlock their own potential in that sense. Because if they go from 10 products to 100, then if for 10 products it's already so difficult to offer customization, for 100 it's just going to be a nightmare and nothing else is going to get done. All of that is just solved again in one single step with Zakeke, because working with 10 or 100 products, in terms of automating everything, it's essentially the same. So you're kind of removing those barriers to entry, to expanding your catalog, and you're bringing a catalog to life. So it's not just that a catalog of 10 products becomes a catalog of 10 customized products. But if then you need to add different products, or you need to add different versions of the same product, different variations, you have the capability to do all of that in one single platform as well. So you are not just improving your users' experience in terms of the more variety that they're going to see from your website, but you are not increasing your costs, you are not increasing your challenges. So you're scaling very, very efficiently, because you are essentially the effort that you're gonna need to send a print ready file to your printing department for one product or for 10 products is gonna be the same. It's just gonna be automated and sent over there. It doesn't matter if you're working with one product or 1,000. The ease of the process is always the same. And not only that, but you have a lot of flexibility also in terms of how you manage sales, because if you're not directly selling to a client, because that happens a lot for a lot of our clients, you are working with quotations. You need your clients to maybe design their product, but they're not going to complete a transaction on the website. They're going to need to speak with a sales rep or with a representative to kind of get everything going. So the customization is a starting point, but it's not necessarily the end point right away. You can do that as well. You have the capability to offer quotations directly on Zakeke, so they can fill out a form instead of adding straight to cart. Or for instance, if you have more than one store and you have, I don't know, 5 stores, and you don't want to have to access 5 different stores separately. You just want one center of operations, one command center that gives you full visibility of everything that's going on. You can use our sales channels capabilities to do that. Or even going a step further, a lot of companies, they don't even create the products themselves. They just work with a print on demand service like Printful, for instance. So how does it work in that case? That design is just going to be sent straight to Printful, and you are automating all of that right away, because we have, especially for print on demand services, we have integrations that already allow you to make your catalog based on the products that these print on demand services are offering. You do their design, like we were saying before, you set out your rules, you set out your limitations, you set out your options, but then you still don't add any extra steps to your production process, because the print ready files are just sent straight away. So in that sense, Zakeke really allows you to tap on the potential of your catalog, and to go from a kind of static, kind of firm catalog to a growing, living, evolving product that can constantly change, constantly evolve. Or for instance, if you have one product, different variations, and you have different templates that you're using as design options, if tomorrow you want to add another one, you just add another template. You don't need to do god knows what to have that up and running. You just simply do something really quickly and you're up and running again. So in that sense, Zakeke is the ultimate ally to really tap on the power of customization for the user, but making your life easier as a company.
Yeah, you just answered to a couple of doubts or a couple of questions. I'm pretty sure, because if someone was wondering, for example, I have you gave us 2 major examples. I have multi stores, because again, businesses are globals and we need to be global and omni-channel. So I have multiple stores on multiple e-commerce platform. Can I integrate those catalogs? The answer is absolutely yes. And of course, the other major example, I don't have a catalog. I use a print on demand, a drop ship. Can I use that? Of course, with native integration, Printful, custom cutting print tiers, Zakeke can help you with just a click. So importing products, creating, implement those products, because again, thinking about creating customizable products, if I think about a complicated and tedious projects and tedious implementation, of course, that can be a real limit. But if I can do that with just 4 steps, 5 steps, or just in a couple of minutes, creating rules, that means, again, automation, flexibility, that can really give the click to my business printing project. And again, it can be just amazing to see the results of that project. And of course, we have examples of that. I'm really happy to talk about this customer that is Bello Cyclist Chris, and they had the same pains, same exact problems. They wanted to create an on-demand shopping experience, but before creating that project, those designs, they have problems in terms of customers' requests. They couldn't meet the requests. They couldn't meet deadlines. They took sometimes for complete fulfillment orders. They took weeks because, of course, of the back and forth communication. So, and they manage all the design process of cycling caps manually. So, of course, the company team communicated by email internally, and of course, with the customers to reach agreements. And again, weeks time before find a valuable solution and excessive workload. That was the huge problem that they faced every day. So the challenge for them was to find a 3D online designer like Zakeke, and of course they found Zakeke, to allow customers to create the product, to have their power to getting their ends dirty. Of course, having a pre-designed templates, having the 3D design, and the company received the print ready files, of course, automating and give more flexibility to the whole design and production process. So that, of course, led to 90% less time allocated for manual design tasks. Just think about a couple of seconds of that number. Like they reduced and cut completely the design manual tasks. So errors, delays in productions, they doubled sales and revenues. Because of course, thinking about creating manual designs internally, weeks to complete an order, and then think about a 3D designer with pre-designed templates, with every type of design and images that you can upload, text. So the whole power to a new experience for the customers. And of course, for your team, the easiest to use your mind to think about new designs, new products, for example, new catalog. So that was, of course, for them the most amazing experience and the solution to all their production and printing problems. And of course, at the end of the day, what we learned is that, of course, visual customization is a must have for web to print. For all the reasons that we explained to you today, it is pivotal, it is fundamental to have automation and flexibility, and that can be brought by a solution like Zakeke. So complete, scalable, flexible, with no implementation problems and a completely hassle-free process of use, user-friendly, always upgraded, and at the end is really up to merchants, so business owners and teams, to reduce that tedious manual work, that inefficiency. Again, that can bring frustration, revenues lost, returns. So not being sustainable as a business. So if, of course, the imperative is to increase revenue and being more sustainable, the solution is visual customization for your printing processes and for your printing projects. And here, of course, don't be shy. We're here to answer all of your doubts and curiosity. I think that you, Gabi, were so amazing that you answered for me to most of the questions that the guys here today might have. Again, you talk about beautifully about print ready files, the sales channels, the print on demand integration, but just okay. What are the different? That's a question. What are the different pricing plans and options available of for Zakeke? There are any fees or hidden costs?
Okay, so basically our pricing model is like we're a SaaS, is subscription based. And the difference between plans comes down to the number of products that you're working with, the number of customizable products that you want to offer, and the number of views that are going to be included, like that are going to be counted across all those customizable products. And a view is essentially every time you see the Zakeke iframe that is placed on your website. In terms of, and of course, another differentiator between pricing plans is some of the features, because the more features you need as you scale, the higher the plan you're going to need to have to access those full features as well. In terms of hidden costs, there aren't any. outside of the subscription, there are transaction fees that are applied only to the products that are sold after being customized with Zakeke. But these are not hidden in the sense that you know from the get go, since the moment you subscribe, what is going to be the transaction fee, this transaction percentage, and you already know kind of, you can imagine based on the number of orders you expect to have and based on the cost of your products, you can kind of make a prediction of the costs that you're going to incur. And we also have a really amazing calculator tool on our website if you want to kind of have a better understanding of how that works as well. But of course, in terms of tools, all of our tools, because today we focus more on the visual customizer, but we are an e-commerce platform, so we also have other tools in our toolbox, like our 3D configurator or 3D AR viewer, which we didn't touch upon today. All of those tools they're included in all the subscription plans as well. And so the customizable products are to be counted across all those tools, which is really, really useful for companies as well.
Perfect. How Zakeke has helped all the companies to grow their businesses and improve customer satisfaction. Can you share any other success stories or case study? Of course, we talked. I'll take this. Of course, we
First,
talked about fellow cyclists. That is a case. You can check all other our video testimonials and cases on our website and on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe to that and check out our blogs and customer stories. We have countless of them, of course, because we have thousands of customers in more than 400 industries all over the globe, more than 120 countries served. I can talk about, for example, Flex Arcade, that is an arcade producer and seller in France. They reduce and cut costs and design manual tasks 3 times. So they were not scaling, and they started with 3D configuration. So they created made-to-order products for game arcades. That's a huge product, and they can take time for producing. But they cut the costs, cut the manual designs because they brought power, thanks to Zakeke, to their customers to design them, and of course create that experience, engage more customers. Or a company in Colombia like Printo, they created a new different catalog thanks to customization. So they offered an increased and engaged experience with more products because they could automate the printing processes. So there are, again, countless. So you can check on everything on our website, blogs, customer stories, and YouTube channel. Of Okay, how easy is to set up and get started with Zakeke? Are there any training or onboarding resources available?
yes, like as we were mentioning just a little while ago, we have a lot of guides for basically any functionality you can find in Zakeke, and they're literally step by step with pictures, with videos. And of course, if while reading the guides or while setting things up yourself, you encounter any difficulties, you have any questions, any tech issues, we have tech support via email, which is free and which is really, really, really responsive. Like that's actually one of the greatest satisfactions for us as a company, are all the compliments and all the gratefulness that we receive from clients for the amazing quality of our tech support, because they are always willing to respond, willing to guide you through things, willing to meet you halfway and solve your technical problems, because of course things always happen, and the important thing is to always find a solution. But in terms of the tool itself, as we were mentioning, one of its strengths is that it's really, really easy to use. It has been designed to be the easiest tool you can have out there for customization. So even if in that case you still need a little something, it's you still need, I don't know, maybe it's not necessarily understanding the features, but maybe you want to know, okay, I know what I can do with Zakeke. Is there any, like, how can I don't know, combine this to maybe offer this, if there's more things that are not necessarily technical, instead in terms of the options you can turn on or you can turn off, but in terms of, okay, I'm selling a product, what else can I do that I'm not doing yet because I don't know that yet? You will for sure find a guide on that on Send It, on our guide bank, or you can contact our tech team and they can also redirect it to the right sources as well.
Perfect, perfect. And of course, one of the I think the proudest thing that we can say about Zakeke again is a living platform. So if, of course, there are features that need to be kind of not just created by zero, but
Mm.
adapted to that business. The most important thing to say it is the power of something created for maybe one industry that can be applied to other industries. You were talking about how Zakeke is so profound, so it can be applied not just for printing methods, for a variety of products. So if you think that I'm not selling, for example, aluminum can, but I sell pens or I sell packages or whatever you sell, think about a product, you can customize it and you can do it with Zakeke. So I think that is absolutely powerful and is the greatest maybe advantage of using Zakeke instead of other platforms because you can use it whenever you want for whatever product, no matter your catalog, your e-commerce platform, because again, it's a plug and play solution and SaaS. So thank you, Gabby. It was really great to
Thank you,
talk with,
Leo.
to be with you today, to talk with you. Amazing insights, amazing mentions of like panoramic of Zakeke. Thank you very much. I think that all the merchants and people that followed you were really amazed by you and by the fluency of Zakeke inside your mind. Thank you again, and thank you for following this webinar today. Please, if you want to shoot out any more questions, do it on our support or again follow us on social media, YouTube channels, LinkedIn, etc. And again, as Gabby said, we have 14 days free trial. So again, no matter your e-commerce platform, you can subscribe to Zakeke on our website. And again, have a demo. Have a demo. Maybe you can have a demo exactly with Gabby.
Yeah.
If you want. And again, thank you very much. You will have the opportunity to see the webinar again inside our channel. And see you on the next webinar. Thank you, Gabby.
Thank you so much, Leo. Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.